6:48 back with the top stories in our Sunrise Smart Start for Monday morning. And breaking overnight, a break-in at Foodlink on Mount Read Boulevard. Police tell us they responded last night around 11:30. On scene, they found evidence someone did use force to go inside the building and stole a large amount of items. The suspect or suspects responsible, they don't know how many involved, left the scene before officers arrived. Happening today, the Union for Caregivers and Service Workers at URMC is holding a press conference as it prepares for the contract with the hospital system to run out. It expires at midnight. There have been talks on a new deal, but negotiations keep running into a standstill over wages and benefits. If a deal is not reached before this contract expires tonight, the union says members could begin picketing. A presser on this coming up this morning at about 2 hours from now at 8:30. In court this afternoon, Jamie James, the man accused of attacking an RPD officer during this chase in September. He faces multiple charges, including assaulting an officer. Police say James ambushed the officer during that pursuit that ended in a backyard and repeatedly punched him. There was a fight also over the officer's handgun, which went off 5 times. James was shot once in the face with that 5th bullet. He's in court at 1:30. Also in court at 1:30, the man at 22 years old charged with multiple counts of rape, sex abuse, and criminal sex act. Shadad is a level 2 sex offender following a conviction in 2021. He was arrested a year later in a different case along with James Hampton after police say they locked a girl inside a corner store on Central Park and raped her. That was right across the school from campus number 25 here in Rochester. He's due in court this afternoon. We'll keep you updated on all that at rochesterfirst.com. 10 minutes to go until 7 o'clock. Let's check that radar, and lots of green out there. Yeah. The rain falling. When might we catch a break?
It looks like it's starting to work its way into Genesee County. So Batavia is going to get that break first. Then Rochester up next after that. Geneseo kind of along the Genesee River. And then it'll work its way eastward. So you take a little bit of a closer look at that back edge. And then there it is. Alabama, Corfu getting a little bit of dry time. Medina there as well. So Ogden, you're going to be dry, I'd say, in the next 15 minutes or so. If you're in Chili, you might have to wait, I would say, until about 7:30 or so to see that rain end. Otherwise, we're stuck in the 40s today. A little breezy out there. Next chance for flakes. We'll take a look at that in the 8-day forecast at the end of the show. Brennan?
See you in a few moments. All right, thank you, James. Sunrise traffic here at 6:51. New crash just reported within the last minute at Buffalo Road and Mount Read Boulevard. There's also another one, Portland Avenue and Luck Street in the northeast corner of Rochester. That's the view from the west side. Raindrops on the camera. We'll check your Monday morning commute again when we see you during CBS Mornings at about 7:25. Firefighters in Rochester got the call and responded to an explosion at a chemical plant early Sunday. RFD tells us the blast happened at Arcadia on McKee Road around 1 in the morning. That caused extensive damage to the Train 2 building as well as equipment inside the chemicals company. A hazmat team did respond, but no chemicals were released beyond the property lines and no injuries were reported there. The latest from Maine, neighbors in Lewiston are beginning the long healing process after the man suspected of killing 18 people in mass shootings last week was found dead. A vigil was held last night with people coming together, praying and remembering the lives lost. 13 others were injured in what is now the state's worst mass shooting. The United Auto Workers Union has reached a tentative deal with Stellantis, the owner of Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep. It includes a 25% pay bump over the next 4.5 years, similar to the specifics in the agreement reached with Ford last week. Less than an hour after that deal was struck, the UAW announced it's expanding a strike on GM, the only automaker of the big three to not have a new deal in place with the union. Early voting continues today around New York ahead of the general election next week. And with the numbers down so far, a lot of organizations are working to connect people with the polls to get them out. Various groups did that yesterday, including members of First Genesis Baptist Church for a Souls to the Polls event, offering free rides to get people to their voting sites.
The vote is the most important, I believe, instrument in order to utilize in order for the changes that are needed to be made in these communities, that you need to cast your vote, and they need to cast their vote for the candidates that actually have the same interests as those for the change that you want to see made in your community.
Early voting will continue through Sunday. The hours each day 9 to 5, except for Tuesday and Thursday, slightly different, 11 to 8. A group of champions is back home. The Greece Blue Knights marching band returned after winning the state championship in Syracuse. As that honor, they got a police escort, several members of their family and friends cheering them on, all fitting for a group of young champs. It's the first time they've won the state title, and the director of the band just took over in July, had this to say.
The kids have worked extremely hard, and their work ethic, dedication to this program have proven them worthy of a state championship. It's been a great ride, a lot of work, a lot of time, and the proof is in the pudding, as they say, and here we are, state champions.
Yes, it is. Congrats again to members of the Grease Blue Knights Marching Band.
So important, such an important forecast when everybody's out trying to enjoy themselves. The big headline is the temperatures. It's going to be cold. Yes, there will be some sporadic, maybe even a rain, snow shower mix possible, not only tonight, but tomorrow as well. But I think really the biggest is those numbers in the lower 30s there for your Tuesday. If you had to really press me and say, when does Rochester get the first flakes? I like Wednesday morning opportunities there. Looks like kind of one wave of a rain-snow mix works its way over with numbers in the low 30s, and that would kick off the month of November.
And it's mentioned twice there in that 8-day for the graphic coming up a week from now. Thank you, James. Thank you for watching us here at Sunrise. We're back in half an hour.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.